Okay. Trying to keep an eye on who all is in the room with us. So welcome everybody. This is the NDLA Unconference technology session. So that everybody can kind of get used to this. We also have those two practice rooms, so feel free once you have some files or presentation materials, if you want to practice uploading and working with that, it logs you in automatically as a speaker. The day of the session, you'll be logged in as a participant, and we'll have to elevate your permissions to speaker on that day. So if we don't get to you right away, feel free to put something in chat saying, hey, I'm here, so that we know that we need to elevate you. I know it's probably going to be a pretty hectic day. So welcome to the technology session. On your screen, there should be three main sections. I'm just calling them the upper right, the middle bottom, and the lower, or the upper left, the middle bottom, and the lower right. And we're going to go over each section separately as with each little piece and kind of let you guys play with it a little bit before we move on. Not too much, but we did do some things to prepare so that you can see what it'll be like the day of the presentations. Okay, in the upper right, this is what it would look like if I were sharing a whiteboard, which right now I am sharing an application, so I'm sharing a PowerPoint. But if we were sharing a whiteboard, which is an option that you can do, you would see these options that you see along the top. So there's an arrow, a little hand, a pencil, a little shapes button, the text button, the eraser, and then this is for color. The pointer option that you probably want to use if you actually want to point at things on your screen is the little finger pointer because it's more noticeable and viewers get to see that and follow it as it travels around the screen. The pencil allows you to draw freehand, so you can do scribbles, circles, X's, anything like that. The this little option here is a shape. It has a circle, ellipse, a box, if there's a drop down. And then text is just free, it's typing text. So if you click that and click on your screen. Right now, Kristen and I noticed that it's having issues with text in Firefox, but it seems to be working fine in Chrome. So I'm not sure if there's a known issue. I'm going to check in with Silt on that one. But the text is also an option. Be careful if you use this eraser. It is not what you're probably used to if you use any graphic editing software. It does not erase a little bit at a time. It literally will erase the whole whiteboard. If you want to erase just a piece of something on the whiteboard, like you drew a square and you don't want it on there anymore, you have to select that and then hit the delete key on your actual keyboard. And then the last thing in this top row here is the color selector, which is useful if you're doing different things. So you can make your text different colors from your boxes or your scribbles. And sometimes it's just fun to use different colors. And I will put up a whiteboard after we're done so that you guys can play with that. And it's always an option too in those practice sessions to just go in and look at the whiteboard. If there's something that you want to share with participants, they also would have some of these options. We can give them the option to use the whiteboard. So if that's something you want, let us know and we'll turn the whiteboard on for participants too. Below that, there is a little pop out and you can do that yourself right now. It looks like a little sheet with a magnifying glass on it. If you pop that out, it gives you options to increase the size of the current screen, decrease the size of the current screen. This third one is best fit, the 4 arrows pointing to the corner, so it will make it fit your screen at the size it is. And then 1-to-1 is the actual size of the document being shared. And an important note on this is that this only affects your screen, so each viewer gets to choose how they want to view this and what size they want everything to be. So if you're looking at something, say in the poster presentations, and they want to zoom in on a piece of your poster, they have the option to do that. And we put a little thing together for participants as well. So there is a video for them so that they know these options are available. Does anybody have any questions about this particular screen? Okay. If you pull out the three arrows that are in the upper left, or the three little lines in the upper left, that actually pulls out another menu, which this arrow will show you here. If you need to use your phone for audio on the day of, we don't really recommend it because it doesn't have great sound quality, particularly with cell phones, but that is an option. So if you click on that, it will give you a phone number and a PIN number to sign in via your phone. And that is unique to you. So that isn't something that somebody else can use. It's unique to the session that you are logged into right now. And once you log out of your session, that phone option does not work anymore. They actually revoke that PIN number. So you also have to have that session open, which is a little unusual. And I know a lot of other ones just let you have a PIN and phone number to call in, but this one requires the session to be open as well. Okay, in the middle bottom, as I'm calling that, there are four little buttons, and they're pretty simple. The first one is your profile picture, and it has a little check mark to show that everything is okay. The second one is your audio, and that's what you would click to set up your audio, which you guys all discovered. And you can also, which I recommend that you would do, is when you're not speaking, especially on the day of the unconference, other people will be speaking. So if you could mute that when you're not one of the speakers or we're not doing the meet and greet, then there won't be any extra background noise or coughing or anything like that. And so I put the difference between what it looks like on and what it looks like off. The third one is the share video, and I have mine off right now because I'm sharing the screen instead, but you can turn that off or on as you guys have done. And then the fourth one is raising your hand, and I'm going to go ahead and do that so you can hear what that sounds like, because participants also have information about how to raise their hand if they have questions. So if you raise your hand, it should let you know that a hand has been raised. And if you will look at these options in a little bit, but you should also hear a little noise that someone's hand was raised. And someone lowered my hand. So that's an option too, that you can, once you do that, you can lower your hand, lower the person's hand once you get to it. And it will number them. So if 3 people have questions, you will know in order that they push that button, and you can take them in that order and then lower their hand as you answer their questions. Does that make sense? Okay, I think we're good. And if you want to follow along in this section as we're going along, you certainly can, because it might be a little bit nicer for you to see it. So in the lower right, there is a little purple icon that has little arrows. If you click that and click the arrow, it should expand. And there are 4 icons across the bottom. The first on the left is what I'm calling a little chat bubble, the little message symbol. And if you click that, you will see and be able to chat with people. And so that's one way to also interact with people. It's a good idea to kind of keep an eye on this, but I know it's hard while you're speaking. So the moderators on the day of will also be keeping an eye on this. And if we see questions where they don't raise their hand, but they have a question that they type in the chat, we'll let you know when you get to the questions portion, if you have a questions portion at the end of your presentation. The next button over looks like 2 little people, and right now it has a number 6 on it. And that number is the number of people that are currently in the session. And as you can see, on ours, we have 6 members. And you can see how people are broken down by moderators, presenters. So you know right away who the moderators are, who's in charge of the session in case you have questions. And to get to that, if it doesn't automatically show, you can just click that little drop down arrow. And then if you don't want to see it, you can click it again and get rid of it. And then you'll see that we have created what we're calling the poster rooms. They're called breakout sessions, technically, but we're just calling them the poster rooms or rooms. And the way to get into a room is to click the little, it kind of looks like a door with an arrow on it. If you click that, you will be able to go into a poster session. And the screen down here shows you, it looks exactly like the main room. The only difference is you'll have different controls of the whiteboard. So we'll put the poster sessions in here, and we'll have your posters uploaded in separate rooms for each of the poster presenters. And then you will just go into your room when it's time to present your poster, and people will be able to move in and out of those rooms and look at all the posters as they would like, just like a real poster session. Do you guys want to practice that and move into a poster session?
Sure.
Okay.
Just go into one?
Go ahead. Yep, just go into one and welcome back.
Yes, I know, Jessica, you were getting nervous there. We were having fun. But yeah, Kelly had a question about the size of the poster. So I thought I'd let you address that.
Did Dawn say anything about the size that she was wanting them to be? Because, like I said, the viewer can zoom in on things, so.
Kelly, Thormanson, you have background in creating these posters, right?
Usually we just use PowerPoint, and then you can set PowerPoint screen to print to the size that you want your poster. If it's 36 by 42, then that's what you set it to. So then when it goes to the printing, it knows to make the poster that big, and it'll adjust everything correctly. Since this is just a PowerPoint slide, I would imagine that you don't have to choose a size. If the poster, I mean, right? It's just a PowerPoint slide in each of the rooms, right?
Yep. You can do an
So
image
I
or a
would say
PowerPoint slide.
if you just create one PowerPoint slide, you probably don't have to change the behind the scenes part to a specific size.
Okay. Yeah.
I would imagine, it would stay the way it's supposed to. Because usually when we're doing a poster like that, it looks like just a regular PowerPoint on your computer. And then when you go to print it, it makes the obvious changes because it knows it's supposed to be 36 by 42 or whatever it happens to be.
And when you upload your PowerPoint, just one note, when we upload them, instead of sharing them like I'm doing, there aren't any animations, which I know usually wouldn't be on a poster anyway, but just to be on the safe side, don't expect animations to work on the uploads, the file uploads.
Okay.
Okay. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And the viewer can zoom in on the different parts that they want to look at, and move the screen around as they're reading it too. So there is an option for them to look at things. So it doesn't have to be gigantic fonts or anything like that.
Yeah, the one that was just there that we were looking at in poster 1, the one from Moret and Megan, that was probably created as a poster. So it may, if you were to actually put that back into PowerPoint, it may behind the scenes have needs to print at 3648, but for the sake of this, they probably just sent the PowerPoint slide and you guys uploaded it, would be my guess.
Yep. Yeah, and I think, is that a PDF or an image, Kristen? I didn't see the upload.
It was a PDF, I think.
Okay.
Yes. It was a PDF.
And your options are PDF and image files, so JPEG, PNG.
Yeah, or PPTs. Yeah.
Yep, PowerPoints work too.
Yeah.
Okay. So but this section is really nice because it looks just like the main room, so it's not completely different. And then once you've moved into one room, it's very easy to move back and forth to all the other rooms. The next button over is the sharing content button. And I chose, I created this clip of the screen because at that time I was sharing a whiteboard. So it shows you what is being shared currently with a little stop button icon so that you can easily stop it from this screen, but also in the upper right of your screen, there's a stop sharing button just above whatever you're sharing to. So you don't have to go in here, like if you're in chat and you're chatting with people and you want to stop sharing something quickly, you can do it from the main screen, but it's also available here, and it's an easy way to see what is currently being shared. The second option is to share an application, which is what I am currently doing. So if you all go to that button, you'll see that it has the little thing right by the sharing application. And then share files. If you want to click that, I have uploaded 3 files. If you want to practice, did you practice that in the other room, Kristen, or? Nope. Okay. So if you want to practice sharing the files, you can click on those, and then the button down at the bottom will change colors to let you know that you can share that item now.
So Jessica,
Yes.
will those already be loaded for us then? Like I'm a presenter of a paper discussion piece. Is that is when we share our files with you, you'll upload them, and so when it's my turn, I will go to share files and share my document that should already be there?
Yes, and we'll just upload them with whatever file name you have named it. So
Okay.
whatever will help you remember this is my file, go ahead and do that. If it's your name, you can just put your name in there. If it's a specific file name for the presentation or the poster, you can do that too. We just want to make sure that you're able to find your file quickly to swap into
Okay.
it. That's one of the main reason we want them ahead of time is so we can get everything uploaded for you guys and you don't even have to worry about how do I drag it in here? Oh no, it's not working. We can go ahead and do that and test all of that ahead of time so you guys don't have to worry about it. And you can also see that there are breakout groups. The moderators are in charge of those breakout groups, but it tells you which room you're in as well. So there's kind of another way to tell what room you're currently in. And then the last button are your settings button. And there are two ways to get to it. One is this little icon, the little gear icon here, by dropping that out. But also if you just click your profile icon in the bottom middle, that will also open this immediately. So it won't open everything and go to whatever you had open last, like if you had chat open. So if you need to get to your settings quickly, this is the place, that would be the place to do it. Here you can change your avatar, so whatever, or your picture, if you want to use a picture, an avatar. I'm just using a picture of the library. You can also, here's another place for you to use your phone for audio, set up your camera and microphone, change your speaker volume. Of course, we all have our regular computer volumes, but here's another way to fine-tune the volume for your speaker and your microphone. And probably the most important part, I just realized it's not sharing this with you guys for some reason. I clicked it and it didn't go. So there we go. You guys see that again? So that's the settings I was just talking about. Probably the most important part to you guys are these notification settings, which if you click this little drop down, the notification settings will come up. And I would just recommend leaving them as they are, but sometimes if things get a little bit annoying when you're not the speaker, you might want to turn things off. But specifically when you are speaking, or if you're in the poster session or something like that, you'll definitely want to know that someone has joined or left your group, so that you'll know when someone comes in. There's a visual and an audio, and the audio is just kind of a little tinking sound or something like that. It's just personal preference about how you want to be notified of chat messages. And sometimes people find that annoying when they are speaking, so that might be one that you would turn off when you're speaking. And like I said, moderators will be keeping an eye on the chat also. And then specifically someone raises their hand, you'll definitely want notification of that when you're the speaker, and you'll want to have that notification on as well so that you know if somebody has a question and they've chosen to raise their hand instead of using the chat function. Okay, so that is basically it. Does anybody have questions?
I have a question for you, Jessica. So
Yes.
so when we put up our we give you our PowerPoint slides and you put them up, will they forward just like a normal PowerPoint? Like if I hit the forward arrow, will it move it forward, or how do we adjust the PowerPoint when we're demonstrating?
That's a good question. Let me show you what that looks like, because I can just upload this PowerPoint that I'm using right now. I didn't do it this way because I actually had transitions and animation. Let me see this one. Upload. So it's uploading it right now. And to answer the question simply, no, it doesn't work just where you click on this and it transfers transfers it over. If you guys want to go into the share files, it's that little box with the arrow pointing to the right, and click share files. And if you look, you can see now it says there are 10 slides, so you know that it's different. The other ones are 1 slide. If you click on that and click share now, it will ask you which slide you want to share right now.
And so you just have to
And
keep
so
moving
if I want
yourself
to share
through
the
each
first
slide.
one, yes. But when you share it, it does give you the little option down below to just navigate through them. I don't know if, can you guys see that down below?
Yeah.
In the actual video, there are back and forward buttons too. And participants don't see that. Only moderators and speakers will see that. So you can either click on it on the right, or if you want to get rid of that that window, that side window, and want everything to be bigger, you can just use those navigations on the bottom.
Thank you, Jessica.
You're welcome. I'm going to share the whiteboard too real quick so that you guys can see what that is like and see that change. So you can see at the top now there are, oops, someone unshared my whiteboard. There are options to write on it, put circles, and we can turn that on or off for participants in the main room. In the poster room, if you have a whiteboard on, everybody can use it. It's supposed to be kind of a collaboration center. It shouldn't be a problem in there because we're going to have your posters up instead. But just be aware that if you do use that for some reason. And this is the one where I told you don't click the eraser to delete one thing because it will clear the whole board. Just click the one that you want to get rid of with the little selector and then delete it. You have to be using the arrow to delete with. If you use the hand allows people to see where you're pointing. But if you use the arrow, you should be able to delete things.
Oops.
Ooh, what happened? Oh,
How
did
do
you
you?
hit that?
Yes, I did. So when I select it with the arrow, then what?
Then you just hit the delete button.
Oh,
your
like on my
keyboard.
keyboard. Ah,
Yep,
okay.
yep. Sorry, I should have explained that clip better.
The best way to
That was
learn
me.
object lesson.
That's how we found out that that's what that did, is we were in a training session. Oh, I just want to delete this thing. Ah. Because they didn't warn us. Is anybody using Firefox right now? Other than, I think, Kristen, are you using it?
No, I'm in Chrome, and Devin was having problems earlier, and so in Firefox, so she switched over to Chrome, right?
Yeah. Even after I'm. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Devin.
Even after I allowed everything, it just wasn't. I tried to read a bunch of tutorials really quick, and it wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing. So I'm not sure. It might be my internet connection that it wasn't refreshing.
And I usually use Chrome just because I think it works better because of those issues you were talking about, Devin, because I think Firefox tends to have those more. But I'm sharing an application, and there's a known issue right now where if you're sharing an outside application, it may cause it to freeze and drop the connection. So I didn't want that to happen. So it's the only reason I'm in Firefox. But for some reason, I haven't been able to get the text to work in Firefox all day today as a moderator, a speaker, or a participant. So.
Wow.
This is Kelly, and I'm using Firefox.
Oh.
I clicked on the link in the email, and it opened it up in Firefox, which is my default, and everything just went fine. So.
Are you able to use that little text button in the upper
left?
It.
Yep.
Hey. So there must be a setting or something that we have on. It must be some kind of weird
I know
setting,
my Firefox did an update on its own last week. Maybe that was part of it.
I did one this morning, but maybe it didn't finish. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should make sure that update finished this morning. Yeah, because I was using it earlier today, and then I'm using it now for this presentation, and I thought, So that's good to know that it might just be a me and a, well, Kristen issue.
And a Devin issue, and we're in the same building, so who knows? Lord only knows. All I can tell you is it did work for me. But that's good to let people know maybe in advance before next Tuesday afternoon, is to say, if you're a regular Firefox user and it doesn't work, to try it in Chrome, because they might need to put Chrome on their computer then. Not everybody
That's a
has
good
it.
idea.
Because I don't know where
I'm gonna
everybody's
make a note of
coming
that.
from for this conference. And I mean, a lot of people only have IE, so they're gonna have, if you want them to use Firefox or Chrome, they're gonna need to know.
Good idea. I just wrote that down. So I can't remember, did we put that on the page?
I don't remember seeing it, but doesn't mean it wasn't there. I just know I didn't see anything. I just did what I normally do.
The participants page does say it requires Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, but we do need to let all the speakers know too, because that's an important point.
Hey folks, I need to take off for the undergraduate conference training thingy at 3 p.m.
Yes. So I'll be here for a few more minutes. If anybody has questions, anybody who needs to take off, go ahead and do so. If you want to hang out and play with anything or ask questions about any of the features, I'll be here for a little bit longer. Thank you guys for coming.
Oh, thank you.
Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica.
I have a question, Kristen, for you. Is there an actual like schedule yet for the